Every person in each of these movies is dead. Whether they were a background extra, a director, a crew member, or a stuntman. It does not matter. Time has taken each of these people from us. But here we are watching them talk and smile and react to their surroundings. They linger on, only able to perform these actions on repeat for all eternity, like phantoms. If you have ever experienced someone dying at your place of work or even at your school, or if you've received news of a peer dying, even if you didn't know them very well, their absence is felt. The people around the school or your place of work all share that same hum inside their body that says, someone was here before and now they aren't. But you acknowledge it and continue. Even as the building holds some kind of weight, as you feel the pressure of someone departing, you complete the tasks and get to the end of the day. Then the end of the week, and on and on. But when someone passes on during the filming of a movie or TV show, or is involved in some tragedy, continuing the task of filming is akin to being part of constructing a ghost. There was a time during the creation of this film that this person was alive, and then there was a time when they weren't. I see and hear dead people. In an industry as busy and as old as the film industry, every year there is a new final project for an actor or filmmaker. These are often treated as the tragedies that they are. There are often dedications in the credits and ways to acknowledge those who had died. Sometimes this even gets integrated into the tone of the film, or it becomes a plot point that their character dies. The chance of this happening increases with each sequel or each season of a series. The longer your film or your TV show lasts, the more likely it is that you are creating a ghost. Famously, The Crow, a melancholic movie all about dealing with grief, lost its main actor, Brandon Lee, to an incident with a prop gun. Something was jammed in the barrel, so when the blank was fired at point-blank range, a projectile actually fired out, killing Brandon Lee right there on set. The graphic novel that the film was based on was soaked in tragedy. It was an expression of grief that was so personal to its creator, James O'Barr, that you feel real pain in every panel. The film now has its own real tragedy assigned to it, one that is emphasized and immortalized through the tone and atmosphere of the movie.
I wish the rain would stop just once.
Can't rain all the time.
Eric?
A similar incident occurred during the filming of Rust, where Alec Baldwin was handed a supposedly unloaded gun, which went off, killing cinematographer Helena Hutchins. This tragedy, and the controversy that ensued, grew bigger than the movie itself. If you've heard of this incident, did you also watch the movie? Did you even see the trailer? Did you even know the film they were shooting was called Rust? Often, when an actor dies due to an on-set accident, it becomes part of the mystique surrounding a film. Studios know this as they bank on the fact that it's the actor's final performance. When it's someone behind the scenes, we pay it little mind. It does little to draw eyes. In some strange way, it's sadder. For actors, it's as if we glorify them and mythologize their last performance. But for the rest of the crew, if they die on set or before the film releases, you're lucky to get a controversy. But sadly, one of the best things about Rust is the cinematography. It's one of the positive aspects of an otherwise very average movie. So when you watch Rust, you're not seeing a ghost say lines and laugh and cry on cue. You're looking at something through the eyes of an omnipresent ghost. You are seeing her idea of what is beautiful and provocative. You're seeing the performances and the sets and the atmosphere through her lens. And it's the last time you will. With actors, you get to hear their voices and study their expressions when they're gone, but with cinematographers, you get to share a quiet moment with them and see things through their eyes. If the metaphor we're going with is that by watching their work we're spending time with them, then by watching an editor's work after they're gone, it's like you're having a one-sided conversation with them, or breathing with them. The editor decides the pace and emphasizes the tension, and when we lose an editor, we lose their unique style. This is a clip of actors saying hi to editor Sally Menker on her final film, Inglourious Basterds.
Bonjour Sally! Hello Sally!
How old is Bob?
I think Sally's one there. Hi, Sally. Can you come say hi to Sally? Hey.
Hi Sally!
About 24 kilometers outside of Paris, the bastards will be waiting for you. Fuck. So close. Hello, Sally. So close.
Unique vision is also something we lose when we lose directors. We recently lost David Lynch, who is so well known for his unique style that his last name has become an adjective, Lynchian. When a director dies before they can bring their vision to life and is instead completed by someone else, we end up with something that feels like it exists on two different planes. AI was supposed to be Stanley Kubrick's final film. Unfortunately, he had died while developing the film in pre-production, leading to it being directed by Steven Spielberg. Both men are excellent directors, but Spielberg's films tend to be a little more optimistic than Kubrick's. The film carries with it an eeriness that I remember feeling when watching it as a kid. Even amid the dark imagery, it feels like the specter of Kubrick's vision is hiding behind the surface. Before we move on and before I tell you what the next category is about, I would like to ask that you pause the video and go watch Dear Zachary, a letter to his son about his father. It's only about 90 minutes and definitely worth it. Alright, did you watch it? Let's continue in 3, 2, 1. Dying before, during, or shortly after a film is made is a sad situation for everyone involved in the film, but there are things that filmmakers can do to still get their final work released. But the challenge of doing so is exponentially greater when it isn't someone involved with the making of the movie, but rather the subject of the movie that dies. This happened in 2009 during the filming of the behind the scenes of Michael Jackson's This Is It. What was supposed to be an innocent documentary on what was supposed to be his greatest concert ever turned into a first-hand account of what it was like to be a part of this concert only for it to never happen. But Dear Zachary is possibly the most heartbreaking instance of this happening. Not only is the film all about the legacy this father has left behind, immortalizing his memory on film, but it also eventually documents the death of Zachary, an innocent little baby as well.
I've never seen a coffin so small before. I shouldn't have them that size.
It's heartbreaking because instead of having a complete life, the legacy of this small baby is this film. And when you finish it, all you can do is sit and let it wash over you that all there is left of this baby is this film and the memory of him in the hearts and minds of those who loved and knew him. But the film draws attention to the issue in Canadian law that facilitated the tragic events of the movie. Zachary's legacy isn't just a documentary. The love and care people had for him led to people taking action that has benefited countless people and will continue to for a long time. When we see that little baby on screen and know he isn't here anymore, we can at least appreciate that he still exists through his influence. When ghosts change. When looking back at a movie with beloved actors who are no longer with us, like Robin Williams, Paul Walker, and Heath Ledger, it's easy to appreciate the performance on its own and appreciate their good qualities. No celebrity is a perfect person. They are all human and are therefore flawed. But when we see their ghosts moving through images, we can recapture and reminisce about what we loved about them. But in some cases, a ghost changes. The spectral image that used to warm our hearts and make us long for days gone by now leaves us a little sick and a little horrified. This was a lot of people's experience with Jimmy Savile, a beloved DJ and TV presenter who defined entertainment for a generation in Britain. After his widely mourned death, it was revealed that he had committed multiple rapes on young girls.
As you can imagine, people still talking about the accusations against Jimmy Savile. The news this morning is that the headstone was removed in the middle of the night. Now, Kelly Hickley says, I watched snippets of the programme which has brought this situation to light, and I'm shocked that some of those he worked with said they saw him with young girls. She says, shame on them for not speaking out and protecting others.
Needless to say, his voice, his image, and everything he played a part in were stained. His ghost went from a warm sound and image for thousands of people to go back to, and turned into a horrifying phantom that we are helpless to stop, even if we see the signs. Resurrections. After years of revisiting beloved actors through their films, particularly their final films, we don't ever have to worry about mourning them again. We've reached a point in time where grief ceases to exist. You loved what Carrie Fisher provided for your childhood? Well, I've got great news. Even though she's been dead since 2016, she will continue to entertain your kids and your grandchildren and your entire bloodline going forward as long as the Disney Corporation exists. But who are we kidding? Even when Disney as an entity gets renamed or integrated into some new, somehow bigger conglomerate, the rights to her likeness will pass over and her new owners will continue to puppet her corpse through ungodly AI and deepfakes until we all forget she was once a living, breathing human that brought passion and humanity to the role she played. I don't need to see Peter Cushing play Tarkin again. I don't need Harrison Ford to be Indiana Jones forever. These companies want their franchises to last forever, and they're getting to the point where that pesky human mortality won't stand in their way anymore. But this can't possibly be good for art. It can't be good for us as people either. All of our rituals and traditions around death exist out of an optimism and the embracing of finality. To resurrect Harold Ramis to play Egon again in a movie called Ghostbusters Afterlife, no matter how respectful and tactful you might think you're being, isn't it time we all just slowed down and took a look at the phenomenon of resurrecting actors and saw it for what it is? Ghoulish? They even brought George Reeves back to play Superman, even though it was possibly a big part of why he committed suicide. Let's be okay with giving the dead a break. And that goes for all of us, even those of us outside of the film industry. AI is not the place to process your grief. A robot coldly mimicking your mother's voice while wearing her face is certainly doing more harm than good. That glossy, shifting background is not your childhood home. That figure is not your mother, even if she says goodnight just how you remember. Phantoms of the Home movie. So outside of our minds, the memories of those we love exist in the records we make of them. There's something beautiful about there being a limited supply of stuff that belongs to or includes our loved ones. I don't want to be able to generate infinite videos of my wife or be able to get advice from a machine disguised as my grandfather. I don't want to make the photos of my family move. When we watch our home movies back, whether you're old enough to have them on stacks of VHS tapes or they're in cloud storage, we can enjoy the fact that the videos are as they are. They are a recorded memory. And if it's poorly exposed and we can't see them, or if there's a lot of noise and we can't hear them, that's okay. Because the way we recorded it, faults and all, is honest to the event itself. The flaws in our home videos make it real. The next time you see dead people on your screen, remember that they lived and breathed like the rest of us. Remember to get as many photos and videos as you can with the ones you love. Your siblings, your friends, your spouse, your parents. One of these home movies will be their last. And on that sad note, I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for hanging out here at the Slimepool. If you want to see more videos like this and some of the other stuff we do, please consider subscribing. If you enjoyed this video, it would be awesome if you left a like. Got any thoughts or opinions on how we treat filmmakers and actors after death? Share them in the comments below and we can keep this conversation going. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.